Well, welcome back to Cooking in the Kitchen, DC Coast to Coast and Boomchang Records. Here we are for the second week of George Borowski, who travelled all the way up from Manchester to come to the kitchen in Newcastle and say hello to us. You still around then?
I'm still awake.
Great, you didn't leg it.
I didn't leg it. I just legged it to the bathroom and got a cup of tea.
Well, you did well, yeah.
Back on again.
Well, great to have you back on.
Oh, it's absolutely.
So last week we had a bit of crack. We learned about your mother.
Yes.
Well, we learned about how she influenced you with your music.
Yes.
And how you've been connected in the music scene for quite some years with regards to people who have been successful.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's good. We learned that you've written over 200 odd songs.
Yeah.
Which I think is amazing for anybody who can dedicate that amount of time to get it, because they're not just regular songs. For me, the two I've heard were very high quality and great standards.
Well,
so,
thank you. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Hope you appreciate.
Thank you.
I appreciate what you did there.
That's a great compliment. Thank you.
They're very, very good. So, what I'd like to do with this week's show is maybe talk a little bit more in depth with regards to your songwriting and how you go about it, because I would love to learn from you. What inspires you? How do you start with a song? Do you start with words, chords, or?
Well, I think with all there's a variety, but there's no rules really how it starts. Sometimes the whole thing comes at once, and within a second, you've got the first line and you're off. I think it's a bit like a building, like an arch. You get a keystone, don't you?
Yeah.
And the song builds up to it and away from it, and it always comes back to the keystone.
Good way of thinking about it.
Yeah, I think well, Hendrix and his solos, if you listen, there are places where then Mitch and Noel realise, we're coming to the end of the solo here.
Yeah.
We don't always know it, but they certainly knew it, and I think it's the same with songwriting.
Right.
I think the important thing is with writing a song is to tell the truth.
Yeah.
As you see it.
Yeah.
And to make sure, because you're your own perhaps greatest critic, you kind of think, am I painting by numbers here?
Yeah.
And if you're telling the truth, there's a tone in your voice. So whether you're testifying about something that you feel passionately about, then please be talking about something that, because the truth and the tone of the voice will come out. If you're in love, then go to that place when you're 14 and you run into the playground to see her, right? And you know your heart's pumping and there she is waiting to see you. Go to that place. If you're talking about having a broken heart, then you have to put yourself in a place.
It's all about that emotion, isn't it?
So that is the truth. And that's all the public want to hear. Brilliant. And the minute they get that. So a great voice can turn a moderate song into something fine.
It's a storytelling.
Right, and a fantastic song can take a moderate voice to be fine, but occasionally we get an incredible voice with an incredible song and we get Bridge Over Troubled Waters. So when he sings Sail on Silverbird, we all go, on you go. It's like Officer and a Gentleman moment when we hear Terry and Julie cross over the river, we go, my God, what a song. Well, because it's a magnificent songwriting. It
is, that's right. Good lyrics, good melody.
Yes.
All come together.
And my dad said, you can't whistle a haircut, George.
No, did he?
Which what he was saying was, don't be too worried about your salad. If you tell the truth, people hear you from the back of the room, they say, what's he saying? So the songwriting comes early, sometimes. I pick up the guitar, a riff comes out, you start singing something.
And it develops
from there. Develops from there.
So there's no formula for you per se, which is good. I like that.
I think that's how it should. If you chase it, it'll run away like the girl in the playground.
That's right.
So then go and do something else to create, because people dry up. I dried up at 17.
Did you?
Had not written songs for about 2 months. Panic.
Did you?
That's it, I'm done. I'm over.
Cooked it. Yeah.
So I went and got some dolly pegs and started making jewellery.
Did you?
On leather and washers between it. Right. Of course, when I came back, they were there, because of course everything, meeting yourselves here today, everything goes on the hard drive.
Right.
I mean, everything goes on the hard drive. The lines in the cup, which I've seen twice now, still goes on the hard drive. So you record everything. Everything that people walking past you. It is the hard drive of hard drive.
It's just being able to recall it at the time, isn't it? So,
right. And then in the morning you wake up and the important things are there. You know, I talk a bit like Heathrow. You wake up in the morning, just for a second you're just here, not thinking about anything. You're dying for a wee.
Right.
Right, that thing about one thought, one action, go and get the wee done.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, by the time you get to night time, it's Heathrow up here, there's that many helicopters flying around here that you haven't done.
Yeah.
So people think that you have to write at a set time.
Right.
Right, when the muse comes to you, and tell the truth.
Yeah.
You know, Kate Bush, we've not heard an album for 20 years.
No.
Right? What? Oh, she's lost it. No, she just doesn't want to give anybody...
Yeah.
How can I put it? Salad instead of
That's
substance.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with salad. Vegetarians don't get angry at me. I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it like that.
No, but that's a point, isn't it? She's actually set herself a standard, and she doesn't want to just put it out for the sake of it. She's doing it because it's now right for her to release it.
Because people are giving her time, and secondary to the money that they're going to pay, the fact that they may sit there for an hour and listen to what she has to say. Of course, you're going to take some care, just as you're doing it here to make something that I'm doing together with you, great. You know, that's right. And that's the point behind it, because creativity is the key. If you're creative, can't be destructive. The two things are at odds with each other.
I love that.
And we're ultimately creative, and lassies do the number one gig.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they just take a few seconds to clock everything.
Good on you. So, can we hear one of your creative pieces then?
Oh, well, I'll try.
Which one do you fancy playing?
I'm going to play one about my dad.
Brilliant.
Who, as I was saying before we were filming, about him going out and buying the guitar for me with
it's very special.
three quarters of his wages. And he was at Monte Cassino.
Right.
And he didn't talk about the war in any great depth as I was in the war. But when he told me the things that he did, a great mark of respect that people should lay down their lives on our behalf. On both sides, people were laying down their lives on the behalf of the people that they were with. You know, I'm not here to judge one side or another, but soldiers do an incredible thing. Yeah, they do. Right? And as you say, your television station is about people laying down their life, and this moment in time, today, Easter Sunday.
Exactly right.
And my dad used to say, it's all a smokescreen, George. Everything is set up to divide us. There are people who try and divide us by any means they can. Yeah. Right? Because they weaken us by dividing us. Yeah. So, for me, Dad, I'll play this tune.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's a song called History. There's a girl by the wall in a room across the hall, and it's all down to history. And a boy like a shade with his eyes so afraid, and it's all down to history. And the man with the grain holds him fast like a chain round the heart, cross their hands to the brain, and they fall and they slide, and they can't seem to rise, 'cause they're tied by a line that's been drawn. So they turn us all on one, son on son, gone on gone, child on child, tribe on tribe. And they wait, and they wait on a reservation that they hate, and it's all down to history. And who am I to say it's all down to history? 'Cause with the head cleaners, it's all down to history.
Man, that's so powerful, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't play it so well, but but I didn't
I think you played great. I love the vocal.
Thank you.
You put everything in that heart and soul, man.
One of the reasons I was retiring just before Christmas.
Right. You haven't retired, though, have you?
Well, on the 12th of January, we had £4, Karen and I,
Jeez.
and nothing on the horizon. And at 2:30, I was in St Anne's Square, Manchester, Busking.
Oh, were you?
No problem.
Yeah.
You have a family, this is what you do.
You got to make it work.
What I was worrying about, performing-wise, you can't sing a song like that if you don't mean it.
No, of course not.
Otherwise, people think you're painted by numbers.
Right.
So, and that's what I was finding. I thought, oh, I couldn't ask people to pay money and stand there, and I don't actually mean. But that's a kind of important. That's really me. That sums me what I'm about, really.
That's what you're about. I tell you, that was very powerful. Words were tremendous, and the fact, the story you just told us about, I just thought it was brilliant. Well done.
Thank you.
It's great. That.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
How was the busking?
Pardon?
How was the busking?
The busking was fine.
Yeah.
After Christmas, it's a bit thin.
Yeah.
You know, but nevertheless, same thing again. The great thing about busking, unlike playing a pub where people are not really there to listen to you, when people walk past you when you're busking, it's not because they don't like what you're doing, it's because they're going somewhere.
Yeah.
So you can't take it personally.
They're in transit.
And those that love it, all right, mate, it's great, mate. All right, you've got your CDs and all that. So you get that, you know. So it's a great place for people. Instead of people playing open mics, go and busk.
Yeah.
Right? Learn your, obviously, if it's not raining, I'm not being daft.
No.
But if you really want to learn how to play, go and play in nursing homes where people are on the run in.
Right.
And it'll really test your mettle, because when you play from your heart, they'll say, oh, thanks for coming, love, you made it fantastic for me. Get that in your cap. You won't have to worry about doing open mic, because because they'll see through you.
Right.
Because they've got a clock that's saying, I'm on the run in.
Aye.
And I believe
the run in, not the run out, which is interesting turn of phrase.
Yeah, on the run in.
Aye. Okay.
And I believe that if somebody had taken Amy Winehouse to Great Ormond Street Hospital or Alder Hay and said, Amy, can you sing for that lass?
Aye.
She'd as soon turn the book round about thinking about topping herself. Because she'd have realised what her purpose is about. When she see a bairn there, right, she would forget about her own problems.
You've got an opportunity there in life to make a difference.
Correct.
Aye.
If anybody wants to go and see a great film, go and see Pay It Forward and see James Caviezel talking to a girl stood on a bridge who delivers the greatest line in any film I've ever seen. Right? 8 words, it'll hit you in the stomach, and you'll get to the inside.
You'll get it.
You'll get exactly what the whole... And the whole film's fantastic. It's Helen Hunt, James Caviezel, It's completely panned film. Kevin Spacey, Joel Haley Osment,
right,
who they all said they wanted to act with the young boy that was in The Sixth Sense,
right,
and that lovely actress Angie Dickinson came out of retirement to do a cameo role.
Did she? Right.
You've got to turn the volume up, no distractions, listen to everyone, every line goes into the back of the net.
Right.
Every line's a clue.
Fantastic.
Pay it forward, folks. Right, okay, I'm working for the film industry now. Sorry, no.
Good.
Sorry. Yes.
Well, let's move on. I would like to hear a couple of more songs from you, if that's possible, but I would do one more.
Okay.
Now, and then we'll have a bit more chat. The guitar's interesting, isn't it?
It's a cracker.
It's what?
It's a cracker, isn't it?
It is.
It's a cracker, as they say.
Well, it makes a nice noise, I know that much.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a big part of the songs.
Yeah.
Right. And
have you written a lot of songs on this particular?
I would say that probably 220 of them have been written on this.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
There's probably 10 or 15 written beforehand on other guitars before this one came along.
Yeah.
And at the start, the lad I was playing with didn't really want to play original stuff, so I took it personally.
Oh, right,
you know what I mean? As maybe my songs, and then it just came in a flood and stuff, you know. And then a few written on the acoustic, which is stood up behind us here, you know. But yeah, so it's a big part, and I always say to people when they go to record, please take your putter into the room when you go to play. Then it might go in the cup when you play, because it was sat here on your chest when you were writing. Yeah. So whatever it's doing is reverberating and becomes part of the song.
It is part of it, isn't it? It's brilliant.
Yeah. And,
honestly, I think it looks great. That's well interesting.
It's a good. It's not the original neck. It's not the neck that Martin Hopper played. This was given to me by a German guitar player who was playing with Asia. Yeah. And mine was so twisted by that time. He very kindly turned up before we came home. And £18 of magic for me. I got
£18, 200 and odd songs. Get in.
Oh, help. Yeah. What's happened now is my tuner has died, so...
Nice bit of tuning.
That's close enough, I think.
Well, yeah. So what's this song then?
Okay, this is a song called I'll Never Fall in Love Again.
Yeah.
And it's dedicated to my brother Steve, who was a proper rock and roller, who loved Chuck Berry and Little Richard, and Fats Domino especially loved that song. Yeah. And songwriting, clue for songwriting, being direct, we were saying before. Oh, well, goodbye, although I'll cry. There's a whole song in a verse. So I've always tried to do that, and I think the rock and roll comes to me naturally because I was listening to it while I was playing. Right. Not I was reaching to be, when I was 13, to be Pete Townsend or Keith Richard or Jimi Hendrix. Yeah. By that time I'm reaching to try and be somebody. At this point it's going on the tape, and of course when I heard a whole lot of shaking going on, Steve brought home the 45, I put it on my dad's radiogram, played it about 300 times. Did you? When it went back to his girlfriend's house, she put it on her dad's house, because I had steel needles in playing it. So, in dedication to brother Stephen, right, brilliant. I'll Never Fall in Love Again.
Get it.
I'll never fall in love again. I'll never fall in love again. I thought I found myself in heaven, but I was mistaken. I lost my lover to a friend. I'll never fall in love again. She wouldn't look me in the eye. She wouldn't look me in the eye. I thought I found myself an angel, but that was just a disguise. I knew that she was telling lies. She wouldn't look me in the eye. We used to go out dancing, stay around till 2. But now she got herself a new man. I don't know what to do. I'll never fall in love again. I'll never fall in love again. I thought I found myself in heaven, but I was mistaken. I lost my lover to a friend. I'll never fall in love again. Goodbye. To go out dancing each and every night, but now she got herself a new man, and me, I'm out of sight. I'll never fall in love again. I'll never fall in love again. I thought I found myself in heaven, but I was mistaken. I lost my lover to a friend. of an angel, but that was just a disguise. I knew that she was telling lies. She wouldn't look me in the eye. I'll never fall in love again. I'll never fall in love again. I thought I found myself in heaven, but I was mistaken. I lost my lover to a friend. I'll never fall in love again. I'll never fall in love again. I'll never fall in love again. Never fall in love again. Never fall in love again. I lost my lover to a friend. I'll never fall in love again. Ow! Ow!
Get in, man. You've got to love a bit of that. That just makes me smile, that music.
Great.
Isn't it brilliant, that?
That's what you're saying about that dance thing?
Yeah.
10:30, lasses want to dance.
Aye.
So that kind of come naturally to me. And Stephen used to say to me, "Play the rock and roll, George," and it wasn't really my choice.
No.
I just
You're
heard it.
guided by that.
I just heard it when I was playing
isn't
with my Meccano and stuff and playing with my toys.
Aye.
You know, I heard someone for the morning.
All right.
It's all coming on my tape. Plus, my mum's listening to Mario Lanza.
Yeah.
Which is where I get all the ballads from.
Brilliant, isn't it? Bit of Mario.
Oh, can't beat it.
Yeah.
She loved it. Oh, yeah, great. Student Prince.
Aye.
I walk with God from this day. God, he did there, filling up.
So rich, isn't it? Brilliant, man.
Music is food, isn't it?
Isn't it?
You've got to try it first and then decide whether you don't like it.
But sometimes it's like when you get older and you get into red wine.
Yes.
You know, you don't like it when you're a kid, but then as soon as you get older, you start listening to the more mature type stuff.
Of course.
But
it's all food for the soul.
It is food for the soul. Yeah, I like that. I like that crap. Because you've had quite a diverse, let me get the right words. Really, you've had a good. It hasn't just all been rock and roll. It hasn't all just been punk. You've had quite an array of artists to work with, and that's obviously come with your songs, hasn't it, as well?
Yes. They're all influenced.
A lot of influences.
Yes, absolutely.
Have you got a preferred genre of music?
Loud and fast was my
genre.
Loud
and fast, was it?
Loud and fast. I liked it loud. I liked it because I had to reach for it when I first went to see the bands. You were saying about being part of the audience.
Yeah.
You weren't quite hearing it, but that's what made it exciting.
Right.
Because you were trying to find out what's actually happening.
Yeah.
And the audience has to kind of do that. Yeah. So all that music at that start, you know, what we're talking about the Kinks, we're talking about Small Faces, the rock and roll that I didn't get to see very much because it was gone in 1955 to 1958, and it's over really after that. No disrespect to the people who came along, but Pat Boone isn't quite Little Richard. Yeah. Fair play, lovely songwriter, lovely songs, you know, Everly's phenomenal. Yeah. You know, so, but really I like stuff fast, and I also like beautiful ballads. Yeah. Which I'm very fortunate that, like Blue Guitars, lots of ladies like to sing the songs that I write.
That's brilliant.
So that's a great compliment.
It is. It's very good for you, isn't it?
That you've been able to touch a lady to think I'd love to sing that song.
Exactly.
You know, so I'm lucky. I'm the luckiest man in the world. I'm banging my microphone as I'm talking.
That's all right. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
So I'm lucky that I'm here today. You know, so we were saying I was talking about Ivan and the situation last week and stuff. You know.
Yeah, well, you've got to put everything in perspective, though, haven't you? And I think if you're in that position, you can actually look inwardly, can't you? You can look into it, and you're going to get things from that. Hopefully, he'll get fixed up. Yeah.
I grow and I learn, Steve.
Yeah.
I grow and I learn.
We never stop learning as writers, I suppose. Yeah.
That's what I came for.
Yeah.
You know, came in here today, didn't know you at all.
Yeah.
Fantastically gracious to me. Of course, it's going to make me feel relaxed.
We just met virtually, didn't we?
That's the only time we'd spoken to each other.
Yeah.
A few lines.
On the internet.
Hello. And that in itself is a marvellous thing.
Yeah. Do you use it much?
I do. I use it to say hello to people and to cheer them up if they're down and say hello to my friends and try and wish people... Of course. Yeah. Because sometimes it's easier to do it there than to write a card and go to the post and put it in. Yeah. That's lovely as well. And if you've got time, then also do that because there's no greater pleasure than opening.
I know, that's nice. But we do spend a lot of time with the social media.
Yeah.
Can people connect with you on social media?
They can. They can go to...
Do you want to tell them?
Well, you can go to georgeborowski.com, which is spelt with a W, all one word, or you can go to find me on Facebook. There are two things on the Facebook thing. It's just George Borowski on Facebook. There's a fan page, But the other page is probably easier for me to reach, and I will respond to everybody. And thank you very much for listening, whoever you are. And again, have a lovely day today. I've had a fantastic time here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, listen, we've loved having you up here this morning. Will you come back maybe in a couple of months or something?
I would be honoured.
We'll get you up. We'll get you up and maybe spend a bit more time with you. I'd love to spend more time with you.
Okay.
What we'd like to do now, Dan, I'll close out the show tonight and today, afternoon rather. And what we normally do is get you to say goodbye and doing a song. So what song are you going to do for us?
Bloody heck, what should I do? I'm lost now, I wasn't expecting a third one.
You've got 200 odd to choose from, so any one of them will do. And this is the
I'll do next time around.
Next time around?
Yeah.
Well, actually, we're going to say thank you and goodbye to George for now, and we'll see him next time around, as he's going to play next time around. So look forward to you coming back up again. Thanks for the day, it's been brilliant.
Thank you so much, both.
You're welcome, thanks.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Yeah.
I'll see you next time. This is for all of you.
Great.
I know she loves me, but I gotta wait for the next time around. Oh, got my heart, I gave it gladly. Said she's gonna find me next time around. To be together, together, together. Oh, together, together. I will wait here with nothing. I will not fall. I'll have it all next time around. Born too late. The cards have spoken. No hearts, just space. This time around. Oh, my hand has been played, and the joker's not joking. But it's gonna be great next time around, when we're together, together, together. Oh, together, together, together. bird.